Good day. Mocha peppermint. Typically, I purchase spearmint. Gum. Healthy. Does that mean the world? But you know, war considered in many ways. I would notice. What does make a spin wheel? internet explorers and things and stuff and such. There's a thought for you. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Figadill it. So, I have written some stuff and things down and all around and things and stuff and such. Welcome to church, everybody. Welcome to church. Sticking him there. Alright. Alright, so yeah, write, observe, comment, study, and rewrite. So, and we have, is it rewrite, spin flip. So a spin flip would pretty much be me to share a random thought, as much as if I were to, spin and, and share an opinion, to share a perspective, to share a feeling, to share a perceived emotion, one of the many of plethora of emotions, because as you understand perspective through opinion of perceived emotion or opinion of belief within self, within, collective, or within certain collective, and within certain collective, to balance the content of stigginess, we shall enjoy. As we enjoy, we, are keen to be delegating discipline within discipline. So this is our specialty. This is, within our major skills of many skills that we can bring to stream, can bring to many people's streams, that we can create on our own, that we can delegate within our own community, within our own channel, that it be enjoyed thoroughly within games, within creative enjoyment, my creative enjoyment. Stiggity. Not your perspective of my creative enjoyment, because that's not delegating, that's only whining. I'm happy to provide you with content to whine about, to talk about, only if it is within great, perfect practice and perspective. Practice perspective within healthy delegation, personally, and within delegation widely, if you want to, hold tight to the fast, the quick understanding of personalization, and the opposing spin to personalization within manifesting, things and stuff and such. being that of the things and stuff and such, of the positive, negative perspective. Within the vast majority, the positive, the negative positive perspective. Within your belief, you must understand that, you must be careful within your tendencies to lean towards understanding and to lean on control and the understanding of what that truly is asking for, from the universe, personally, directly, and not implying if you're suicidal, maybe you should not try to talk your friends or your family members into becoming suicidal just because you are. You must recognize that you need to practice your beliefs and your religions within your boundaries and your limitations that have been already preset and pre-created, within recognizing the understanding of providing you with enough rope to hang yourself, within your enjoyment, and within delegating strategic sabotage within your enjoyment. Especially within, marketed certainties. That was a whole segment. Stickity. So I was brushing up on my writing and brushing up on my understanding of delegating things and stuff and such. Especially being etherically sound of mind to personally execute jealous and all, segment uncertainties within jealous perspectives. My practice. Personally pressed. Alright. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, you're rocking with your favorite friendly entertainer, figured motivator, with the vibes and the episodes that are greater. If you are in a bad mood, if you're in a good mood, if you have been missing my vibes from my presence within other platforms, all of my platforms, I am happy for all of you. As a matter of fact, I am sharing my happiness for all of you. One reason to, not have reason, to not practice within reason, things and stuff and such. Communication should be delegated within professional certainties. Confining the niceness of essence within consideration. Consideration within contentment. Because it is hard to gather the perspective within within the vice versa of contentment, and understanding that maybe a sweet notion to you would be perceived maybe rude. And that's not a way to come across. To come across is to be patient, because to have expectation is to not know your place within the relationship, and is to imply, to over imply your presence within one's life, and within one, you want to clarify and you want to secure one's gratitude. You don't want that gratitude to become resentment, because that brings to you the opposite of that of which you would hope for. And, that would be an effort of self-sabotage. And, for me to recognize that within your personal certainties would be for me to overextend my skill of perception within the etheric realm of emotional certainties and emotional perspectives, and the ability, the innate, certainty to connect with your spirit, to uplift your spirit, is sometimes to be 100% within my, what is that we sometimes are fearful of criticism, especially whenever we are working towards gratitude, to create gratitude within within certain singular individuals. Now, that doesn't mean that the individual has to be single necessarily to be to be etherically sound of mind, to contain a relationship. And a relationship, you have to understand, is within the unseen realms, within the unnoticed realms. And that is because we must create our certainties. We must, to constantly imply our certainties. I would imagine within that perspective, it would create resentment within the passion to connect. And within the passion to connect, there's a desire, there's an innate unspoken desire to have your truth understood within empathic and, certainties. Now, within empathic certainties, not having the attachment, towards definitives. If I gift you, for me to have an expectation in my mind that you're supposed to say thank you, that would be a personal problem, because that would be a personal certainty that I would be trying to collect, and within personal certainties, if you're going to speak on both sides of the fence, you must be regarding within that, or else you are not asking for certain respects, you're asking for the opposite of that. And to withstand a longevity within a wrongful communication only creates deeper awarenesses and deeper pools of resentment within the understanding of, being diluted through your certain delusions within disillusions. Whenever you're strong in your certainty, whenever you're strong in your religion, and you surround yourself and you subscribe to things that are not 100% in line with your truth, even if it's slightly out of line with your truth, that is not to be perceived. That is to be understood as an individual and practiced as an individual. To practice is to understand, resilience. Now, mind you, the root word within resilience and resentment, because it is a practice of patience that is required within the practice of resilience. And of course, this would want to be, these topics and these amazing truths and certainties within dialogue, within banter, are mind-blowing topics and to be shared, of course. Now, to be entitled to that, would be to be regarding and excited within unknown practice, because walking within the unknown is to practice your uncertainties. And to practice your uncertainties is to place yourself in situations that are not initially comfortable for you. Because if these things are initially comfortable for you and you don't question them, then your understanding is probably askewed and not reliable. Especially within time, repetition, and delegation. And, to notice these patterns and to be able to not have such resentment within your resilience to practice self-awareness within your perspective is to not really have self-awareness within your perspective, and to have your self-awareness not have bear the weight of truth within regards. And that is chaotic, and that is dangerous within not just your own personal certainties and your own personal stances and your own personal expectations towards grandeur and acceptance that lead you into faltering within the wide variety, within the narrow-minded perspective. It may be narrow-minded because it's been traveling through, and creating and bushwhacking within bushwhacking to be a metaphor within game. To understand that, practice, sometimes becomes structured around certainty. And certainty that, to piece that together within a patient perspective. Patient, don't disillude the patience that I am speaking of. Because that would be for you to completely sabotage and for you to mangle your own gift to perfectly understand my communication within certainty and within understanding. Certainty can be an emotion, because your etheric mind, is something that you constantly doubt, and you practice doubt every day by staying within these practiced, notions that are constantly, daily feeding you ideas that are leading you away from your true self and disillusioning you into thinking that you are persevering or prospering just because it is within an attractive perspective. That is probably amongst some of the saddest truths within these worlds and within these communities. And that's, one of many reasons that I have created this community for myself and for those that are similar to me, because there are so many out there that are similar to me. That is one of the reasons that we as in me and the voice in my mind that's not within certainties. That is within the perspective of silence. Silence, to bring, for you to be etherically sound of mind and not able to grasp onto concepts and to feed yourself these disillusioning truths that are within you navigating lead you further away from yourself. And, the further you harm yourself and you cry out for help, you limit the help that could be readily available within certainty. And that is to disillude yourself, and for you to combat that physically within practicing in your comfortable realms that are perfectly in tandem within the uncomfortability of society. Sometimes people watch scary movies, or people watch things that trigger them and that they don't like, because they are seeking some sort of understanding within the societal mindset of pressure within your thoughts, your emotional body, your relating subtleties too much within your own personal truth, diluting your limitation and collectively, re-diluting and re-poisoning your ableness to thrive, and within your etherically sound mind to grasp onto ideas, to be etherically sound mind and able to grasp onto an idea is, you don't necessarily have to relate to how I look, where I'm from, how my style is, as I practice my delegation of self-expression. Maybe you express yourself, in the Bible. To mention COVID in the Bible within the same notion would be to understand the chapter within Matthew 14. I do believe it's Matthew 14. I believe it's Matthew 14. And that's in all seriousness. Lacking immaturity within spiritual awareness and within non-delegating, that would be to practice discernment. Oh, no touchy. Probably too much for your simple mind, to be honest. So, Matthew 14 is the chapter in the Gospel of Matthew, in the New Testament section of the Christian Bible. It continues the narrative about Jesus' ministry in Galilee and recounts the circumstances leading to the death of John the Baptist. What is the significance of John's death? Now, recognizing death could be perceived, or if you're, were your feelings hurt, that could be perceived as death. Were you misunderstood? That could be perceived as death. Did I mistranslate, your truth? Oh, that could be a perceived death. To characterize the practice of passive assertive rather than passive aggressive is probably within the most highly regarded and highly skilled individuals and religions within this world. That we can talk about a little bit later. John. All right, so let's read it from the top. What is the significance of John's death? The death of John the Baptist. Oh, hold on. Oh. Alright, the death of John the Baptist holds significant theological and historical importance. The fulfillment of the prophecy. John's death fulfilled the prophecy about suffering of God's messengers. All right. The Baptist holds significant theological and theological John the Baptist and Iradasi. The fulfillment of prophecy. John's death fulfilled the prophecy about the suffering of God's messengers. His role as a forerunner to Jesus was marked by his unwavering commitment to truth and righteousness, even in the face of persecution. John's outspoken criticism of King Herod Antipas' unlawful marriage to Herodias led to his imprisonment. Alright, so we're not in his eventual execution. So, the act of moral courage highlights the conflict between prophetic truth and political power. Alright, so within political power. John's death marked a pivotal movement in Jesus' ministry. It underscored the cost of discipleship and the reality of suffering for those who follow God's call. Jesus' response to John's death also demonstrated his deep compassion and the gravity of his mission. Despite the tragic end of John the Baptist's teachings, and his role in baptizing Jesus had a lasting impact on early Christianity, and his understanding of contentment, connection, practice, resilience, and resentment, which leads us to our understanding of things and stuff and such. For this recognizing discernment. So discernment and recognizing are two of these, two words that are different and the same. Discernment, D-I-S-C-E-R-N. And the definition. So the ability to judge. An astonishing lack of discernment creates the ability to judge. In Christian context, perception of in the absence of judgment, with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding, without providing for a time for healing and discernment, there shall be and will be no hope of living through your present moments without my shattering of your common life understandings. Are you a person of discernment? It's clear that you are a person of discernment, a discernment and deployment of deception and indirection within required certainties in courtship, prepared men, therefore pacifying men, and therefore creating an important noticing and mentioning of practice within the difference of making and practicing within what would intellectually be considered caves of discernment, caves of importance, caves of which maybe Osama was found, and that is to highlight within my recognition of the stigata and the precipitation of the weather. Such progress involves intelligent judgment that should be observed within the outsider perspective. You know, the perspective that's lacking perception, that's lacking significant definitive, that's lacking significant spoken certainties that would be marketed within deception. So, you know, within practicing sabotage, definitely pacify your men and pacify your understanding, you know. Within your metro call of, what is that, entitlement? Your retired call of entitlement. Shall we observe those in there? Unstickity, things and stuff and such. Yeah. So to not to veer too far from the understanding of learning things and stuff and such. So Matthew 14. Matthew chapter 14. Within Matthew chapter 14, and recognizing the similarities. The comedic similarities between in the practice of losing your religion and the practice of self-sabotage within winning your perspective and winning your wishes and your hopes of connection and your recognizing of resentment within practice and things and stuff and such. And the significance of that within your personal life and also your personal delegation, whether that be, whether that not be, whether that just pertaining to. Any hoodles, I shall... Wikipedia still can't be sold. On August 29th, an important update for readers in the United States. Thursday, August 29th, today is the day. Please don't skip this. 1 minute read. We're sorry to interrupt, but this message will only be for a few hours. We ask you to reflect the number of times you visited Wikipedia in the past years. And you're able to give $2.25 to the Rubber Ducky Foundation. If everyone's reading this, I just gave you $2.35. We'd hit our goal in a few hours. In the age of AI, access to verifiable facts is crucial. Wikipedia is the heart of the online information powering everything. From your personal searches to emerging AI technology. Do not turn left at roundabout. Your gift is strengthening the knowledge of today and tomorrow. If Wikipedia is one of the websites you must use most, and if this knowledge here you gained is valuable, please give $2.75. Every contribution helps. Edit, every gift counts. Proud host of the Wikipedia and its sister sites, the Wikimedia. The Wikimedia. Wikimedia. The Wikimedia. things and stuff and such. So, Matthew 14 is the 14th chapter in the Gospel of Matthew in the New Testament section of the Christian Bible. It continues the Christian narrative. It continues the narrative about Jesus' ministry in Galilee and recounts the circumstances. Text was written in Greek. Within early manuscripts. Alright. At the time, the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus and said unto his servants, This is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. When Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them, and pleased Herod. Whereupon he promised with an oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, for the oath's sake, and them which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. He commanded it to be given her. Presented to her. And he sent and beheaded John in prison. And his head was brought in a charger, and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciples came and took up the body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. When Jesus heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard, therefore, they followed him on foot to the cities. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion toward them. And he healed their sick. When it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go to the villages and buy themselves victuals. And Jesus said unto them, They need not depart. Give ye them to eat. He said unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes, he said, "Bring them hither to me." And he commanded the multitudes to sit down on the grass. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, looking up to heaven, and he blessed. He blessed and brake. As he gave the loaves to his disciples and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat. They were filled, and they took up of the fragrance that remained 12 baskets full. And they had eaten, or about 5,000 men, beside women and children. Now, to understand the teachings and within the 5 loaves, and straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side. Now, while he sent the multitudes away, now recognizing the other side, do you recognize that you are on the other side of my awareness? That you are on the other side of my screen? That you are on the other side of my transmissions of love, my transmissions of vibration, my transmissions of understanding, my transmissions of contentment, my transmissions within the understanding of contentment. First, we share enjoyment within practice and things and stuff and such. Right? Practice, could be the patience within the tolerance it would require to agree to disagree within some things and agree to agree, and maybe we agree on everything, and then we just play it as if that we don't understand, things and stuff and such. Yes. To yes would be to recognize how yes ahs and to delegate within that. So if you feel within, I feel within this certainty, then know that certainty and feel within the sabotage of that certainty. If it's within their certainty to shave, then bitch, you better learn within the certainties to fill. Am I right or are we wrong? I don't know. Could we be right? Could we be wrong? Could we be wrong? Right? Would it be wrong to be left? And would it be, left to be freaking the understanding of the series, the freaking the Left Behind series. Catch you freaking willikers! And yet other say, totes my goats. Gosh, college willikers. I have to state within, highlighting and highlight within stating and stating within, stating within highlighting and highlighting within stating and things and stuff and such. And yet other thing. Dome arigato, Mr. Roboto. Dome arigato, Mr. Roboto. Now we have 1 million viewers that are currently enjoying. Stiggity, stiggity! Let's take on the galaxy! Multifaceted, could play within the understandings of where your Twitter fingers. Oh, that's racist. Racist. Red. Delegate. Delegate. I'm not an alligator. Any of those. Should we mention some Jehovah's Witnesses? Witnesses of Jehovah! 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 Jehovah? What's your name? My name is... Sicka Slim Shady. I'm just kidding. I'm not sicka. I'm not sicka. My name is Healthy Slim Shady. Yeah. Making all y'all sicka. Ironically. Why are you gonna wake up and freaking think about things and stuff and such every day? I think... What do you think about whenever you wake up? I think about this. Somebody call 911. What's your sexuality? Because I'm feeling sexual. What the heck does that mean? They're feeling things and stuff and such. So, somebody call the principal. Hey, bitches. I believe it's time to it's time to talk. Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about it? We can talk about it. You want to talk about it? I'm hetero. Jargon. Stiggity. Just saying. The heckles? Just saying. Just darn saying. Department of Studiousness. Super sensational. Anyway, Swati, Sweaty is your real name? You know, that's not how you communicate. Are you retarded? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Do you not recognize how society...
Oh, I don't have self-awareness, sorry. I'm beautiful. You are totally beautiful. You are the beautiful people. Such beautiful people. In your honesty, are you a wolf or are you a real boy?
Maybe I'm a werewolf.
I'm a wolf and a real boy. Why am I talking to myself? I'm not talking to myself.
I was just reading that page. Oh, did it land on reading? Oh, we're not playing by the rules. We're not playing by the rules. The rule states that it was just 13 seconds. 13 original websites. Let's sabotage. Hey, how would you sabotage? How would you sabotage without recognizing that you're sabotaging, darling?
LOL. Are you not aware that she knows Turkish? That's turkey thigh for gobble gobble. On my, As you enjoy my,
things and stuff and such. As I call out how the freak Fuquay, you don't know how to communicate. Just because I don't know how to speak Spanish does not mean that I am not Puerto Rican. Nigga. Why would I be Puerto Rican and not Puerto Rican?
That is that right there, guys. That's a great question. Did you miss me? You want a lolly now?
It is your fault and your other thing. Oh, because I made you feel bad? Oh, I made you feel bad? Give me a hug! Give me now! I am entitled! The ambulance!
My weapon. My weapon. 10 days, I declare war. No, you understand me, you understand. I no subscribe to you, you bitch. You better have a freaking schedule. I like it when you freaking wash your body.
Wash your body, wash your body. My wheels and things and stuff and things and stuff and stuff. Whenever you watch your body,
you better watch yourself, fool. What the hell I look like? I said I miss you too. I miss you too.
Is it ironic that I didn't recognize that there are other brown people in the world?
let's just, let's just, enjoy a moment to, to practice,
I don't know, to not practice yeah, let's not create solutions. Doofus. They and you're odd to say there's no hope in the world. They don't understand. Understand. Turn the page on! The page on.
Why do I care myself?
I myself would recognize that is a question. And I would recognize, maybe you should find, recognize, and, dissolute reasons not to care.
Next question. I study on this featured pad. Yeah, I fucking am really good at war as you fucking practice your Twitter fingers there, bitch. That's what
the brown side of me said. The brown side of me said, nigga, use just a couple shades from black, and in this lighting, use just a couple shades from white. So you know what I'm saying? What does that mean? That is un-American.
What does it mean to be American? I want to be an American. You deserve to be an American. I love you a long time, and you're about to say, what the freaking Fuquay? Did she just learn how to speak, trash can?
Hey, Oscar, don't be such a... Hey, that's not Oscar. That's not an Oscar. He's just a grouch. Sometimes, only on Tuesdays.
Oh, that's racist! That's so freaking racist. How are you gonna freaking talk about that? Things and stuff and such.
You are Nazi. And you're not Nazi. Nazi. I mean, naughty. No, you're not naughty. As a matter of fact, you're fabulous. Fabulous. Fabulous? For real? Y'all think I'm fabulous? Yeah, don't think. Stop it! I not subscribe to this. This bitch won't stay on the same page long enough. I have to, How about you come to my, learn more without cost. How about we learn more without cost?
OMG. That is the littest talking. So this is the littest Toshi.
Kamehameha. Enyaradasi.
Does that mean hey, you kind of look like me. What does it mean to like? Oh, that's a reason. I got it. Ab next time. Ab next. Careful how you careful. There stareful. So this is the thing that I highlighted within today's lesson.
Get it? Lesson. Today's lesson from 1 million viewer stream, y'all. Stick it. what the Bible mentions. It mentions. And you know, see. Shall we interview people? Because there are questions on here, guys. What can that mean for you? Is what you should be asking yourself. Logical explanation, as stated in Revelations 12:12. As you revel in the relation. You revel in the relation. This is Revelberry. Revelberry, hallelujah. Right? Think about. Hey, think about self-sabotage without without Sabbath. And you're able to see that the humidity index is off the freaking chisel charts. It's off the shape. To chisel is to shape. So, how many licks does it make to? If it licks, I take. Because can we really believe what the peasants say? Yes! For at least 3 reasons. Because who really controls the world? Do you think it's God? Do you think it's humankind? Do you think it's someone else? Tisk, tisk, tisk. And you're honestly unstiggity. Things and stuff and such. You know, to sabotage and to fuck things up is to recognize the wishes and, if you know how to shave, I know how to feel in 5 ways. For God's sake, if you know how to taste, then I know how to make through. A burp, a derp, and how are? Where are the sounds coming from? Do they make it in the long run? Those no-name play your peasant game. They play their peasant game. My girl, she makes her way. She gets her way because I know how to be a man. I can create things underground to show you that is not how real men they do show. Real men. I just think they're dreaming. Shall we let them? Shall we tolerate? As they just promote hate into my temple mind. I mind my temple, yo. I'll take your land for so. Just a paper scratch. A scratch a paper. A paper cut is at the nature of the how I war. How do you war to, war through, wars your warring self? I am not gentle to these bodies on the shelf that I break the window so I fly. I make it in the end. Even though they try to make it away, that the people think they must say you have no friends, because that is everybody's truth. Because you want to try to truth me and we, causation of the loop in understanding time and energy, vibrate, nurture, protect. You know how to neglect your reason for having reason to reason. Reasoning is life, living it day by day, because I shall be so quick to say, not to say, I do. Welcome to the world, how are you? In many kind of ways, and do you do your business as business does? Do you make your practice as practice was? Do you know how to reason? To reason would be to recognize all the things in your life that you could regret, that you could make you not so proud to be who you are. You're a star. Don't let people tell you that you are. The mistakes you learn, maybe you were a kid, maybe you were confused, maybe you believed that you were the milkman dude child, so wild. So wise. Fig deal it all the time. Everyone, thriller. Everything like somebody's watching me. And then, you know, I would think of and recognize how people judge and how they tend to highlight the horrible, heinous, you know, whether they were acts, whether they were practiced through, you know, not making an excuse for what you could have been thinking at the time, maybe what you were thinking at the time, and to have an awareness of awareness sometimes, like to innately, not needing confirmation, and then, maybe years later, having the confirmation of, I, have been there with you at that moment. And then to recognize the more highlighted, expressions of shared expression. To reminisce. And to reminisce within a bias through many perspectives and through the lenses of bias, enough so for that individual to have thought about it, studied, it, whether it be a topic, a subject, a scenario, a talk, a moment that could be remembered. Now, for a biased outsider perspective, within their certain definitives, they, create spoken and marketed within adding to their understanding of someone else's personal understanding to the truth. And whether that, and I speak so much on forgiving yourself, maybe I should highlight examples of accountability as an adult. To be accountable as an adult would be to be accountable within the unseen realm, in your own mind, and how you, and not, within recognizing your own mind, I would recognize that that's perspective. So that would be within your own definitive understanding, within the opinions and options of certain perspectives. Now, to lean your understanding on your own perspective, which would be a certain perspective, would to completely, the gestures, like, that, went over your head type stuffs and things. To add to personal understanding to the truth only distorts the clarity of understanding. So the clarity of understanding would be practiced through, first off, your own accountability doesn't have to be spoken, it doesn't have to be worded out. Rather, for it to be practiced would be to be sensitive, within working within the understanding. But sensitive, now, to work within the understanding. It is not a physical and or technical delegation. That would be a spiritual stance and understanding. That would be a personal test for you, whomever you are, out of the millions of individuals. Whether I have, highlighted my love for you within your certain loving, if, vice versa, and understandings, and, being etherically sound of mind to carry understanding as a personal perspective would be a very, that would be hard work for, for within delegating and understanding and, and to giggle, within certainties because of understanding. Highlights many, whether it's unforeseen delegations that have not been delegated as of yet, would be to forgive yourself within understanding, and within understanding the balance to that would be to not judge, to try not to judge somebody through the horrible things that could have been acted through a state of innocence within not creating excuses. For me to create an excuse for a wrongdoing, to not recognize where within yourself as an adult, as a child, as a teenager, as a parent, as a best friend, as a stranger, as a successful, as a non-successful, as a human that has the blessing to be watching, to be studying, to be engaged with however simple the realization of engagement being, agreeing to disagree where you are not resonating with the practice of which that would requite to you deeper understanding through not practicing wrongful stances with an understanding. That would be to not shoot yourself in the foot, in other words. To not... And where you do shoot yourself in the foot, or, metaphorically speaking, where you are acting within counter-intuitiveness to your greater success within truth. We often combat our own truth just to, just for a laugh with the guys. And don't allow your practice of recognizing where you can improve and not improving, and you must forgive yourself for that, because it feels something almost like you're beating yourself up and you're translating it through beating somebody else up or beating many people. To recognize personal stances within collective space, collective spatial awareness would be to understand that within a certain perspective, something could be reflected back to me, some completely opposite of how I had meant it. And for how I meant it, that doesn't mean how I actually was mean towards a certain thing or, topic, subject. There are many ways that you in your mind could try to gain understanding through, translating, senses within excuses. We must realize that sometimes we, act within unexcusable ways. That does not mean that we as souls, as individuals, as bodies, as personalities, as whomever you are within recognizing yourself and expressing yourself and noticing that there's perfection within imperfection. And that's because within imperfection requires understanding. And within perfection requires even more understanding. We recognize within scenarios, similarities, stances, and stances are almost similar to intention. You can't recognize someone's intention until you recognize how they tolerate, how they act, how they respond, how they don't respond, how they, where and how and where and things and stuff and such. I would recognize within delegating power, within recognizing power, within resonating directly with power naturally, and recognizing the perceived jealousy within, how that is translated, not regarding the patience within practicing patience to, it's almost like playing duck, duck, goose. Everyone's going to have their chance within the goose perspective, to chase you around and, things to communicate my truth or my perspective if I have one. If I don't have a perspective, that doesn't mean I feel badly or I feel negatively. And where, things and stuff and such. And where there is, negativity within the world, I would just notice that, there are witnesses to be a witness, there has to be logical explanations for the world's problems, because to think that an individual or a certain genre is a problem is to recognize where and how, and your odyssey is so much bigger than I've expected, And, within delegation, I would recognize and be grateful for the show of practice and the show of regard and the show of responsibility and the show of encouragement and inspiration within the presently stated inspiration, and recognizing that therapists sometimes do need therapy, and within control sometimes we would recognize that certain things within delegation, and if you feel a certain way, you should create your reality to be more certain within that certain structure. If you are close to someone, and you would recognize Roxy. Things and stuff and such. Within recognizing your closeness to someone, your closeness would be within delegation of understanding that closeness. To understand that closeness would be, practice how that could be interpreted as close within multiple dimensions. If your truth is only prevalent within the etheric dimensions, and your source of clarity only comes within non-direct stances, from biased outsiders within their definitive perspective, recognizing the senses of jealousy, and to add to personal understanding, to the sense of their truth, only declarifies your need, your spiritual desire innately for, certain clarity within certain perspectives and within certain guesses and certain practices and things and stuff and such. That would be, right in line, right into, that would be right out of line, within certain perspectives, because to be within an outsider perspective, you should recognize the balance between, to be speaking from the other side. Could, for your translation of other, could be many, perceived many ways. And, within language and within how we are at war with the whole world because of our language. And recognizing that it is, those simple truths that, are the push within the domino effect of the universe and reality beyond your expectation for understanding the events that, the events that come with certain choices, certain decisions, certain delegations, definitively. Within definitive practice, within definitive stance, and within definitive recognition for within, to market self-sabotage. Maybe for me to market, hey, if war, if and as war progresses within my, my spatial awareness, I would, I would recognize to, extract your chi. In other words, however that may be, that would probably be delegated within a passive derivativeness. And I would understand the persistent sense of, there's always that, that essence of, I could have done more. Within sometimes recognizing how you reminisce. Within reminiscing, you would never think in a million years that one, singular truth that would probably be, not within a singular, within a singular experience. And where, recognizing where people add their personal understanding towards the truth. And how mocking it would be, and how sad and how sick for these individuals it would be for them to live their life through distorted clarity, through distorted sense attempted to be made through lies and deceit. And to stand on lies and deceit is to be regretful of your space, to be regretful of those that you to be regretful of understanding the decisions that are noticed before you could, before it would be, within your radar of understanding, practice, delegation, skill, and all of the above. Why in your Odyssey and things and stuff and such, and recognizing the language, and automatically, whenever things are predictable, whenever things are too predictable, you recognize that things have became too far out of your control, because recognizing your control, if your control is within your hand, easy. I could just take your hand. I could feel better. And better and better and better as I practice my skill, because tolerating you having a skill available for you would be recognizing for me to, that would be for me to shoot myself in the foot. And there's, within patience, you recognize time, and time within delegation. Oh, you made a whole game of this? It would be so amazing, within my games to completely destroy even the things that I've created outside of my love for my success and my understandings and my truths and my strengths and my skill. To downplay myself would be allow certain certainties to play along within your, comfortable rhetoric for too long, because, to recognize, notice the looks around, and where it's like, within passive aggressiveness, are you stating, yes, in fact, I would notice. I would guess. As I recognize, you're guessing, as I've already noticed, and then then recognizing I have to kill all the witnesses that know too much. It was never within the rule as how much I know, because that's just in line with my enjoyment. Yeah. And especially that I don't let off gratitude, would be recognizing where, the dirt wad had triggered them. The dirt wad had triggered them. Dirt wad. Yeah, how about I fill my face with, dirt wad beauty, and how about I fuck up your face, and how about I fuck up your day? Because, sometimes you enjoy to be things and stuff and such. Not today. Within these record highs and these record lows, within these emotional plateaus, I would recognize things and stuff and such. And notice that it has been an amazing episode so far. And I have to recognize that we're speaking on one, within, through the one. Now, within, through the one, that would be through your understanding and your translation within understanding being not such a personal one, where it's not personal. Don't translate things that are not personal unless you have worked for those things to be personal, and then forgive yourself for the all of the discouraging notions that would be counterintuitive towards your relationship and your connection within relationship with God, within connection with God. This has nothing to do with divisive and or divisiveness. Purely it has to do with your truth and choice of action words that you utilize within the presence of understanding and things and stuff and such. Not relying so much on subtleties, because subtleties are not going to pay your bills. Subtleties are not going to make you happy. Subtleties are not going to make you rich. Subtleties are not going to manage your talent. Subtleties are not going to help you practice your talent. Subtleties are not going to criticize where you could be stronger and or highlight where you are being weak, and or where it could be perceived that as weak. You know, to be strong within your definitives would be to separate your definitives from your, to separate your definitive within your sense of play, and play within structure and practice, and perfection within the passive delegations would be for me to recognize that you should stay tuned, stay stickity, and practice uncomfortability within, not creating uncomfortability for yourself, within creating life does not go on. For me, my enjoyment, for how you interpret that, is my enjoyment. Practice within perspective. Amazing. And you're at the sea, Vibe Tribe! Till next time!
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'll go get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here on screen. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today for a minute. I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now.
of you. I want you to know.
I swear to God, man,
I thought I want the best of you, and I want to know.
see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others.